Yeah. So as we discussed yesterday, today we'll be starting about the date functions. So what are the date functions and why we use them? So almost all usable things that we'll be discussing today, along with all the date functions. So we have like plenty of the date functions available, and the basic one that we need to know about is that how to get a system date from SSMS. So that is like if you want to get the current time, like the exact moment, so what we'll be using for that. So that's where we have function called get date. So this function will return current date and time. So whatever the output of this get date function will be of type date time. So let's see. Select get date as. So I said one thing, like if we are using multiple words for as in for aliases, we should be using them in quotes. So let's try executing this. See here we got date in the format of year, month, and day, followed by hours, minutes, seconds, and milliseconds. So this is how the format will be. So it will be like YY and and DD space hours, minutes, and seconds dot milliseconds. Let's say of 3 digits. So this is how the date format uh, is all about in the like from the get date function. So this is the very basic function that like to get the date we will be using all over like in a real-time applications. So let's start with today's uh, functions. That is the first function is day. This particular day function that we will be using to get a particular like day from a given date. So the syntax will be like day passed by date. So this date that will give a particular day or it says particular day part from the past date. Let's select that. Select day of, let's take current date only. For that we will be using get date function again. So this takes current date and display the day of that. Let's execute. So this is 15th day of the month. So that is how this particular day function works. And what if we want to pass like multiple or the values that we intend? So this is day from get date function, and let's see like few other formats. So let's get the day value from, and let's pass on like 20 today's date in this format 2202, and let's give 15. So what it should be returning. So whatever the thing that we pass on to the day function, that we should be in a string format. So let's give an alias name for this. Let's execute. This is the same way that gives this date. So let's follow up like so. The same way, whether we pass on the value or just we pass on the function as a parameter for the day function, this will return all the way same. So what if we pass a complete day, like a complete date time object information? Let's see that as well. So I'm copying this current time from this, and let's see how it does. Day of, again in string literals. Let's enter that. Let's execute this. It again gives the same result. So this is how the day function actually works. It just gets that a complete sorry, the number of the day from the date value, which are the format that you pass on. So this is about get day, sorry, the day. Okay, and we have another function called month to get the month of the past date. It almost works same as day only, but only difference is day will give the day number, but the month will give the month number of the particular year. Let's execute this first. It is a February month, so it give the date, sorry, give the month as what it called as 2. And what if we pass this? So this is also again the same. So whatever the values that we pass on, it obviously takes the same value, and the particular month will be given out as the output. Let's take December 12th, sorry, 12th, December of 15th. This gives same value. So whatever the month value that will from the date that's been passed will be the output of this function called month. And we have another one, you might guess, that is about year, almost the same as the day and the month. It just gives the value of the year as the output. Let's try and get it. So this is 2022. So what if we change like pass on wrong number of literals? Let's see how it works. This is error. So the perfect format that to be passed as a string is y and mm and dd. So this is the format that we are passing in for the date function or like year or month or day function to get the day or year of or the month of the particular past date. So let's say 2020 December 18th. Let's execute this. The year will be 2020. So same way, these also work. So whatever the past value that will be taken out. So this is the get date that actually returns current date and time. And we have one more particular function called e end of the month, is written as EO month. It just returns what it says, um, the last day of the month that you pass on. Let's say like I have passed a particular date, like today's date, to the function EO month, end of the month, and it returns what is the last date from that particular past month. So what it does, let's see in the examples. Select EO month. This is the function name, which takes date as a parameter. So let's give get date for the current date and time, and let's execute. So it says 2022 February 28th as end of the month for for the date I have passed. So get date has passed February 15th and 1919 time. So what it gave, the that particular month's last date is the output. And I have one more parameter that can be passed to end of the month function, which is of how like the number of months to be added for that particular date. Let's say I want to get end of the month, like the last day of the month from 6 months now, 6 months from now. So I would pass 6 months as a parameter. This will be considered as months. And let's execute and see what will be the output. So it just says 8 month, August 31st. So whatever the past value that will be taken care of. So I'm passing 5. It should be returning 7th month, which is of 30 days, I guess. So this is 31 days, July. Let's pass it on 4. It's for June. It's about 30 days. So this is the functionality of EO month. So what it takes a maximum of 2 parameters, and if you pass one parameter, that just returns that particular dates end of the month. So same way we can pass this also, I guess so. Let's try it on. Select EO month of as the string literal. So it just says 2020 December 18th. I'm expecting what is the last day of the month. So it says 31st of December 2020. So I want like previous dates, whether it is possible to take it or not. Some random date. It's a 1096. It says 31st December. Whatever the value that you pass on gives the proper output with the end of the month value. And I can just pass like another value, which is the months to be added for that particular date, and give the last day of that particular calculated month. So this is how it gets October 31st. So if I pass on 10, it adds 10 months to the January, and that will be coming for November, and the output will be November 30. So this is how the EO month function works, and this is what the output for this function. And we have another one. If we have a requirement that like we have seen the concatenation operation yesterday, which is of concat, or we will be using plus to concatenate two strings or so. And we can use same plus operator for addition. What if we want to add the dates which are in the format of this. So how we do that? So if we want to do that in a personal way or in a user defined in R defined ways, it will take like hundreds of lines of code to get or to add the two dates uh, added to add the two dates that are being passed to the function. Or we have another function called it's date add. This is the function that actually takes three parameters. First one is part of the date, or date part, you can say, and it takes number of the number which is by which we should add these, and it takes another value which is date or time. So this is a syntax of date add. We have number of part of dates. So for now, in this particular value, so this is the year part, this is the month part, and this is the day part. And what if you have like multiple including times also? So that's where we'll go with an example. So this particular value has year part, month part, day part, and hours, minutes, seconds, and milliseconds parts. So to give that part value to this function called date add, we have lots of things or lots of formats that can be given to the date add function. So we have year, like to add the years. Instead of this part of the date, we should be mentioning this year as the value. And same way, month we have, day we have. For years, there is another alternative that we can give, which is YY or YYYY. And we have quarters also, like 3 months will be considered as quarter. So these quarters also can be incremented or like added the number of quarters, and this month will be like or M, and we have for the days DD and D to add on the days. For the quarter, we will be passing QQ. So whether you pass on QQ or the quarter, that will be added with this number of quarters that is being specified in the number. So one moment, guys. So let's go with an example that by which you will get a better idea of it. So let us select the output of date add function, date add, followed by I want to add years part. So let's say year as the first parameter and number of years to be added. Let's say some 15 years to be added from current date. So for to get the current date, I can use get date function. So this particular function will return the value which for which we add 15 years from now. Let's execute this. So it says 2037 followed by February 15th on the same time. So this is how we pass the part of the date to be added with the number of the unit number for the particular date. So let's see. Let's add a few number of quarters for the same one. I'll just mention Q. Let's say what it gives. It says 2025 November 15th. So what I did is that I've added 15 quarters. It is that every year have 4 quarters. So by means that 15 means 12 plus 3 quarters. So it's all about like close to 5 years, 1 quarter less. So that's what it added here. Sorry, close to 4. So it's about 3 years and 3 quarters. So which is that 2022 plus 3, 2025 and 3 quarters, which gives the number. So this is how this particular function works. And if we want to add days to it, that also we can do. For that, we need to mention day here or dd or d. Let's execute this, and I'm adding 15 days for current date with the day part. It says March 2nd. So this is how this particular date add function will work. So we've seen quarters adding, days adding, and months adding. Let's do that with an example. For this, I can say M to add number of months. I added 15 months, which resulted me 2023 May 15th. So this is about the date add functions. So what if we want to add a particular for a particular day? Let's do that all as well. So I want to add for like some 15 days or 15 years for a random date. Let's say 2019 November 20. I want to add 15 days. I'm adding day part with a number of days being 15 for the date 2019 November 20, which results me November 19, December 5th. And notice here, we got all the zeros as in time part. So that is because we did not specify any time for this particular date. So if we pass on that as well. So I'm going to pass 13, which is default. It says 1 p.m. 13:15 with number of seconds being 56 and dot microseconds being 555. So it gives same values. So it just add 15 days. So this is how this date add function works. One moment, guys. So for any doubts, if any, please drop in the chat box. So this is with a date add function. If you are clear, we can get forward. And we have like a lot of other date parts that can be used, such as like minute, and we have seconds, and we have milliseconds as well. For this milliseconds, the acronym that we will be using is MS, and we have microseconds as well. For that, we will be using MCS. So whatever the thing that you pass on, year or YY or YYYY, that will be like same thing, same value. And we have nanoseconds that can be passed, which can be defined as ns as well. So these are few of the date parts that can be utilized to add with the date. So apart from this, we have before the minutes, we have hours also. For that, we use hour. So for an example, let's add some few hundreds of hours. So if there is a requirement, let's say you are developing an what it called a service application, which actually takes tickets which are triggered by users, and we define some 200 hours as a deadline for that particular ticket. So for this, I just mentioned R and 200 hours for the raised time. So if the ticket is raised at 7:36 p.m., it will be taking like from 7:36 p.m. It takes 200 exact hours and assigns that particular deadline. So with the real time, that will be seeing in clear. So after adding 200 hours, so my deadline for the for that particular ticket is 2022 February 24th, 3:37 a.m. So this 3:37 is in the morning. So this is how this date add function works. Any doubts so far? I'll take it as no doubt. So another one. So we have seen that how to add the dates, and I want to get differences between the dates. Like let's say my birthday is of so and so date, and I want to see what's my proper age in terms of days, or in terms of seconds, in terms of days, sorry, months, in terms of years, whatever it is. So for that, let's do the date diff function. So that is date diff, difference between the dates. So this takes same parameters as date add, which is date path. It is the to be particular, this is, yeah, like the unit that you want in. If you want the date differences like in the time as the part of days, you mentioned this as day, and so like forwarding same way, and it takes date one and it takes date two. So this is the basic syntax of date def function. So let's try to get that. So anyone's date of birth with time, if possible, drop in a message, please. let's go with that example. Well, I got one date. It's 1st of May 1994. The time is 8:30. And for that, okay, let's do that. I want in days. So I just mentioned day and comma followed by 1994, the year on the month 05. Let's go with normal format first, and then we'll see that hyphen values as well. And we have 01 as the day, comma, get date. So to get the current date, let's execute this. So it says 10,152 dates in terms of, sorry, in terms of 10,152 days in terms of days. Let's calculate on month, how many months you've been. It says 333 months. Congratulations, you have the fancy number. And how about the years? It just takes the year as parameter, 28 years. So this is how the date diff function as well works as well. So let's go with another example of Yoshandra. Select date diff, want in years as first, and then he passed me with 5:50 p.m. as well. So for that, let's use another format of date, which is 1996, and month is April. That means 04, and the date is 8th, and the time is 5:50. That means like we forward, we pass it on like 24 hours format, which is of 5,050. I take the second 0, the current time. So this is, it says 26 years old. And what if we want in months? It says 310. And same way for days. Says 9,444, 9,444. What if I want in minutes or hours? I'll mention hour. It says 2,26,658 hours for current time, and possibly in the minutes as well. So it's a big number. So this is how the date diff function works. And for a few of calculation, we might need milliseconds and microseconds as well. For that, we will be using date diff underscore big function. So this is the same date diff function underscore big. So this particular function will return the values within in the precision of milliseconds and microseconds and even nanoseconds. So this this kind of scenarios will be like mostly used in what it called the medical emergencies or defense sites or satellite communications or whatsoever. So if there is like a thing or to be calculated in the times in the terms of like milli or nanoseconds, for that we will be using this date diff big function. I'll be using the same one, but I want it in nanoseconds. For that, the short form NS. I'll be using. So this will be pretty great number that's been passed. What if I want microseconds? MCS. See? What if I want milliseconds? MS. Something. What if we want seconds? Just the S. If I want hours, so this is how it works. The deaddiff big function. And what else do we have? We are completed with deaddiff as well. And another function we have is date. So is date function that tells like whether the past value is a date or not. So let's say is date is a function. This is the function which takes a date as a parameter. The date value, whether it can be like the proper date or improper date, whatever it is, it takes a date value as input and gives the value 0 or 1 based on the date. If the value, like the past date value is a proper date, then that will be like giving the output as 1. If it is not valid one, that's gonna give us 0. So let's try it out. Select is date of, let's pass some values. So same day I'm passing on 1996 04 and 08. I'm checking whether the value that I passed is a particular proper date or not. It says 1. So it is indeed a particular format of the date. I'm adding one more character. I added 1. Let's execute this. It says 0. That means this is not a date. And let's try this format. It says 1. So this is how we check whether the function, the value passed on is a date or not. Let's try passing on the get date function. Obviously says 1. And do some gambling for it. It says 1. It's just that added get date for 1. So this is how the isDate function works. IsDate is the one to find whether the past date is a proper date or not. And anything that we left with is with date functions. If I'm missing anything. Yeah, I have one particular function called format. This particular format function that gives like the value in the particular format that we pass on. So I want to get like with a particular format. So for that, again, we have same values as D, M, S, D for days, and M for months, S for seconds, Y for years. Same way, H for hours, small h for like the 24 hour 24 hours format or 12 hours format. And same way we have like plenty of it. Let's see how it goes. Let's select. Let's first see as in the days what we have for different formats, but format values. So I want to format current dates. So I say get date function, and it says format value, format of NVARCHA1 and the culture, and it returns NVARCHA1. So this particular culture that we'll be using to get the particular value from the time zones. So whether it be IST or UST or CET, whatever, Central European, United States Standard Time, uh, Greenwich Mean Time, whatever it is. So for this, for now, I'm gonna demonstrate on the particular formats that been passed. So I want to pass down for D, which should give the day values in the form of like, sorry, the date values in the format like very simplest form. So it gave me 2/15/2022. So February 15, 2022. What if it would pass capital D? So it gave me like very much descripted value of the date. And we have like multiple things. We have small dd. This is the one of the formats that gives only the day value. What if I want it's just 51 minutes, as if it is 1951. What if I use capital M? 02 month value. What if I want let's say hours, capital H, it says 19. If you want small h, 07. So it's 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. or 19th hour, both stand same. So this is the particular way of formatting the dates between like different date formats. Or if I say 4 days, this also gives with the day of the week. Or if I go with 3 days, two. So this is how this particular thing, the format values that we pass on to date function actually work. And we have M for month and MM again for month with the number format, and we have MMM to give the month in the form of like 3 digit values. And we have another that gives full name of the month. So whatever the corresponding value, link this function, we use an MSBI. So Jack Kishore, if there is a, report that to be generated on let's say monthly basis, so whatever the month that we pass on, that should be the report that should be containing all the months data, or like months what do you call integer data, or like in insightful data. So for that, I would be passing just the month number as a parameter. But what I should be getting is that the all the values and as well as human readable month numbers. So if I just say 3 or 10 or like 11, it's not so very much readable. So if I pass on like 4 M's for the format, so this particular format is the function that is used to get the date or other strings in the particular format that we define. So I'm passing MMMM, that gives February as a complete name. So if I give like just the name of the month, or just 02, monthly report hyphen 02. What the user will get understand, that's not like very much readable. So if I give www monthly report hyphen February, that is very much readable for the user. Are we clear, Jay Kishore? If you're clear or not, just drop in a message. Okay, you're a Power BI developer then. That's great. You will find almost like half of the similarities for this. And we have for years also. It is just that we'll be replacing this with Wise. What if we want like the particular time, or let's say I want this format, the particular date, with the format of like hours and minutes and seconds. I would say this. This seconds are not available as capital SS, so I would give small SS. Yeah, it says 190204. Did you guys get this? 4 is the seconds, 19 is the hours, but what is this 02? The current time is 1956. So we should be using small m's for minutes. So now we are at the proper track. 19th hour, 56 minutes and 33 seconds. What if I want like AM, PMs and all? I would replace capital H with a small h. Sound 56 and 52. What if I want like the proper value, or the proper way of telling AM or PM? So for that, I'll be using TT. It says 7:52 PM, 7:57 PM. So this is how the formatting actually works. We can mention like fraction of the seconds as well with FF. So here we go with format as well, and what else we all left with? I guess I missed cast function. This cast function is used to like typecast the past data, sorry, daytime value to particular what you call particular data type that we pass on. Let's go with an example. Select format, sorry, cast function, which takes date as a parameter again. So I would mention my current date and passed on with what it called. I would like to get this in the form of like nvarchar data. So I would say nvarchar, and I would like to mention like the length of the value. I would just say 20. Let's go with the minimum values first and then see. Nvarchar is not a recognized function. Oh, is that it so? Okay. So this is the proper way of the defining cast function. Cast and as of the keywords here, cast date as nvarchar of 10. Let's execute this. It says February 15, 2002. Okay, that seems that the length did not was not sufficient. Let's give a bit more. Let's say much, and let's give even more. So this is the maximum that it can get with the format of NVAC here. And we could be like convert the basic numbers into date format as well. That goes like, let's just pass on 2020 02, sorry, 01 and 07 as date. So by this, I should get proper date 2020 01 07, and I would like to get this in the form of date time. What I'll be getting, say this would be the particular date time, like normal string to date conversion with the help of cast. And what else do we have? We can give a proper date complete from the date in this string literal also. So that works out as well. And here we complete with date functions. So by this session, we have almost completed with all the basic of the SQL. So from tomorrow, we will be going a little deep into SQL that are like kind of very deep into the concepts, or like real-time usage of concepts, which actually use all these basics in those concepts as well. So we have views that we views that we discussed, and indexes, stored procedures we have, and whatever functions. See, these are the system defined functions: get, date, sum, average, string functions, str, alien, all those things are of system defined functions, and we can define our own functions that we will be discussing. And what are like kinds of functions that we will discuss, that are like user defined functions. And we discuss about triggers, and we discuss about procedures, and few of the miscellaneous things such as like common table expressions, and yeah, those kind of things. And like few of the things, if I have got missed, some of the functions, some of the very advanced functions such as lead and lag, those things we'll discuss from the next sessions. So possibly there won't be any breakages within the sessions from like from now. There will be mostly kind of no holidays, I can say. Let's work on it. And that is it for today's session. If you have any doubts or anything, drop it in the chat box or unmute yourself and speak up.